begin by saying, actually, the most influential people in my life have been just common people, just people who saw in me something I did not see in myself. Another one of the people that had a tremendous influence on my life and is responsible for my being where I am today, believe it or not, was the governor of the state of Florida. Okay. How did that happen? Well, after I had been given the license to preach, and after, this fabulous job I did in the absence of the pastor without any training or preparation, anything like that, then the pastor himself got interested and told the church that this young man, he did such a job, he should go further than I've gone. So we're going to do what we can to get him going in the right direction. And one of the members of the church was a man who was the employee of the governor of the state of Florida, mentioned this story to his employer, who was the governor of the state of Florida. And he heard my story, and he sat down and wrote me a note and put a $20 bill in that note. And that was the inspiration for me to take what was left of my nest egg that I had gathered to go to college. And I went to college. I got there, and at the end of the first semester, I was flat broke, had no money, not even enough money to sustain myself. I sat down and wrote this governor. Well, first of all, I wrote him a thank you note for the $20 and the letter of encouragement, which I had for a long time. So I sat down and wrote him a note asking him for a loan to cover the cost of my second semester. And he immediately responded, sent me the exact amount that I had asked for. And I came back, got a job during the summer, building houses, paid him back, etc., so on. And he was so impressed that I paid him back. He sent me enough money for the next semester, which I paid him back. And by that time, he was impressed enough to send me a bus fare. He wanted to meet me. He wanted me to come to his house. And all my family members said to me, now, okay, you got to remember now, you're going out there, and this man has been good to you, etc. So now you got to behave like a colored man. And but by that time, Morehouse had instilled into me that in the eyes of God, I'm as much as a man as any other man. And I pull up in front of his house, and I remember what my folk had told me. I said, okay, Lord, this man been helping you all these years. Don't mess it up, Lord. But for the life of me, I could not go to that white man's back door. And I said to myself, if he turns me away, then so be it. So I walked up to that governor's front door and rang the bell. And he came to the door. And you could tell by the flush in his face that he did not expect me to be at his front door. But he was enough of a human being to let me in. I could tell he was in a state of upset. But he walked me through the door to his parlor, sun porch. Sat down, never shook my hand. But after he kind of regained his senses, we had a long conversation. He told me the story of his life. This was in the 50s now. He had lost everything during the crash of 29. And he told me of his friends, and he told me kind of the story of his life. But his faith was what kept him from taking his own life. Yada, yada, yada. And the man was a deeply religious person, but he was still a bigot. We finished the conversation. I'm pretty sure he offered me iced tea and some little whatever. And he would sit back and look up in the air, and tears would well up in his eyes. But when time came for him to say goodbye, he showed me out of the back door. I accepted that. That following year at Christmas time, I sent him 2 gifts at Christmas time. One time I sent him a pair of socks, like house shoes, but they were socks, like you get in the hospital, that kind. The second year, I sent him a book. And guess what the name of the book was? Martin Luther King's Stride Toward Freedom. I never heard from him.